After the real Aerys returned, my parents sent me to the Isle of Innocence. They called it the Isle of Innocence, a place with a name so pure it felt like mockery. Everyone who knew the truth understood what it really was. Once you stepped onto that island, you stopped being human. You became entertainment for the rich. A toy passed around by people who had more money than conscience. I begged. I cried. I clutched at my mother's sleeve until my fingers went numb. They never looked back. Within days, the island stripped me of everything I had left. Dignity, safety, even my name. The men who came and went treated suffering like a luxury experience. Something to be purchased and discarded at will. Not long after, photos surfaced. Ugly, humiliating images taken without my consent spread quietly through private circles, then landed in the hands of my fiancé, Liam Sterling. He was the heir of Kingsbridge's most powerful family, a man whose word could sway markets and ruin lives. I thought he would protect me. Instead, he announced his engagement to Clara Thorne, the biological daughter my parents had finally reclaimed. When a reporter asked about me during an interview, Liam's expression twisted with visible disgust. His voice shook not with pain, but with fury. Her? She couldn't even behave while she was overseas. That kind of woman isn't worth mentioning. The word he used after that was worse. My parents followed soon after, putting on a convincing display of heartbreak for the cameras. We sent her abroad to improve herself, my mother said tearfully. And this is how she repays us. We never imagined she would turn out so shameless. From today onward, the Thorne family has no such daughter. They erased me with a single sentence. By the time I was tortured to death on that island, the world was already preparing to celebrate. Liam and Clara's wedding cost millions, broadcast live, praised as a fairy tale reunion between destiny and bloodline. Every screen glowed with their happiness. But the most shocking part of that wedding was not the bride's gown or the groom's vows. It was my gift. The officiant hesitated when the box was brought forward. A ripple of confusion spread through the guests. Wasn't she supposed to be overseas? What kind of stunt is she trying to pull now? So disgusting. How dare she send something to Clara's wedding? I hovered above the crowd, my spirit suspended in silence, staring at the small box resting on the altar. I was already dead. How could I have said anything? Liam stood still, his gaze lowered. I searched his face, trying to read something, anything. I expected him to dismiss it immediately, to shield Clara as he always had. Instead, he said calmly, "Open it." The whispers grew sharper. She was his former fiancée, right? The one who cheated. Of course, he wants to see what kind of nonsense she left behind. Clara reached for his arm, her voice trembling as she tried to stop him, but he had already lifted the lid. Inside was an old phone. My phone. The screen lit up on its own, revealing 7 unread video files. Laughter broke out among the guests. What is this? Her private videos from abroad? Is she trying to blackmail him with her own filth? Didn't she used to post online? That type of girl will do anything. I felt no anger, only a strange, chilling curiosity. How did this phone end up here? My mother rushed forward, snatching it from the officiant's hands. Her face was pale with rage. This is outrageous. Is she deliberately trying to ruin Clara's wedding? She really is an ungrateful snake. Even her gifts bring bad luck. My father did not bother hiding his disgust. He seized the phone and raised it high. Smash it. Don't let this thing contaminate the ceremony. I wanted to laugh, but no sound came out. They still did not know I was dead. Then again, the moment they abandoned me on that island, I had already died in their eyes. Just as the phone was about to hit the floor, a hand caught at midair. Liam. His brows were drawn tight as he looked at my parents. I said we would watch. The room fell silent. He unlocked the screen and tapped the first video. The image that appeared was painfully familiar. It was the day Clara first returned to the Thorne mansion. She stood at the doorway, eyes swollen and red, trembling like a frightened animal. The moment she saw me, she collapsed to her knees. "Sister," she cried, voicing, "I know you hate me. Please don't send people to beat me again. I'm begging you." Before the video could continue, my mother's hand flew across my face. "How could you be so vicious?" she shouted, hiring people to hurt Clara. The phone slipped from my grasp as I stumbled back. "Mom, I didn't." I tried to say. She never listened. She pointed at me, her eyes cold. "Remember this. You are only an adopted daughter. Know your place. Everything here belongs to Clara." Before the clip ended, panic broke out among my parents at the wedding. We investigated everything. My father yelled, his voice strained. It was Stella who hired those people. We weren't wrong. The video continued to play and the truth, long buried, began to surface on the screen. My shaking fingers picked up the phone from the floor. Drops of water splashed across the glass as tears fell uncontrollably. "I really didn't," I whispered. My voice so soft it almost disappeared. The camera tilted upward, catching my bloodless face, then slowly moved down my arm. Dark bruises bloomed against my skin, swollen and unmistakable. A hush rippled through the wedding hall. What happened to her arm? Someone murmured. My mother reacted instantly, her voice tight with forced certainty. She did that herself. She's always been good at hurting herself to gain sympathy. She craves attention. The live broadcast exploded. What a scheming woman. She's disgusting. Playing the victim again. No wonder the Thornes kicked her out. She deserves it. Clara lowered her gaze, lips curling almost imperceptibly before she stepped forward, voice gentle and forgiving. "Liam, today is our wedding. Let's stop watching." She clasped her hands together. "Even though my sister hurt me, she's already been punished." "I've forgiven her." "Punished?" I nearly laughed. "Clara, Did you ever feel even a trace of guilt? Liam did not look at her. His eyes remained fixed on the screen, cold and sharp. Is that so? Then I want to see exactly how she supposedly staged all of this. He pressed play again. The second video appeared. I was standing in front of a camera adjusting my posture, running lines under my breath. It was a self-recording for an audition. I was not professionally trained, but I had acted in several online dramas and built a modest following. A director had noticed me and offered an opportunity. Back then, I believed that since I was not the real Thorn daughter, I needed to be exceptional, worthy of standing beside Liam. The door opened behind me. Clara stepped inside, her face filled with false concern. Sister, Mom and Dad moved you to the maid's room after I returned. You're not upset, are you? Before I could respond, her expression twisted. You're so stupid, she sneered. Can't you tell they only care about me? Why are you still clinging to this family? All I did was say you might have hired people to hurt me. They wanted to erase you from the family records immediately. Isn't that hilarious? I didn't rise to her provocation. It's not funny, I said flatly. I don't want anything that belongs to you. Stop coming to me. That only made her angrier. She lunged forward, fist tangled in my hair, eyes blazing. What right do you have to say you don't want what's mine? Liam is mine. If you hadn't stolen my place as the Thorn Aerys, would he have ever looked at you? Break off the engagement, she hissed. Or what's on your arm will be nothing compared to what comes next. The video cut off. For a moment, no one spoke. Then someone shouted, so Clara wasn't the victim at all. Stella never hired anyone. She was the one being abused. My parents turned pale. Clara immediately burst into tears. You misunderstood. We were just rehearsing. She was practicing for her audition. She wrote those lines for me to help her. My father seized the excuse at once. How calculating. She planned this long ago. My mother nodded eagerly. Our Clara was only helping her to twist it like this and slander her sister. How vile. She can't marry into the Sterling family, so she wants to drag Clara down with her. Some guests murmured in agreement. I saw those photos. She didn't look forced to give up a man like Liam Sterling. She must be insane. No wonder her parents abandoned her. I drifted closer to Liam, trembling. Please don't believe them. He smiled faintly. I also want to know what she was thinking. Don't try to play the fool with me, niece. He played the next video. On screen, I was grinning brightly. Liam, I got the role. I passed the audition. I said proudly. Aren't I amazing? I'm going to buy you a present to prove I can stand on my own. What should I get you though? You already have everything. The video continued. I know. I'll buy a beautiful dress and wear it when I see you. I rested my chin in my hands, eyes shining with hope. Comments flickered across the live stream. She's kind of adorable. This doesn't look like a vicious woman. Liam's fingers tightened slightly. Clara clutched his arm. Liam, she's your past. I'm the one you're marrying. When he didn't respond, her tears spilled over. You're embarrassing me in front of everyone. My mother hurried to add. She's abroad now, living however she pleases. She's forgotten you. No. I hovered beside him, aching to tell him the truth. I never forgot. Liam laughed softly and brushed Clara's hand away. The video continued. Clara entered the frame again. Sister, why are you so happy? She covered her mouth dramatically. Don't tell me you thought Director Evans actually gave you the role. My smile froze. What do you mean? She dialed a number and turned on speaker. A man's voice answered thick with mockery. Her acting, she was just something to play with. She pretended to hesitate when I asked her to open her shirt. Did it anyway. A shameless girl dreaming of fame. Pathetic. My blood ran cold. I stared at Clara. Why would you do this? She folded her arms. Consider it a warning. Don't touch what belongs to me. My parents rushed in at the noise. My mother immediately shielded Clara. Are you bullying your sister again? My father glared. You have no decency. I stayed silent. I had learned that explaining changed nothing. Clara sobbed softly. Mom, she said in this house, it's either her or me. My mother lost control. She slapped me again and again. You're leaving immediately. Clara whispered. Send her to the Isle of Innocence. That name echoed like a curse. I dropped to my knees, clutching my mother's leg. Please don't send me there. She kicked me away. You're going tomorrow. Desperate, I screamed. I'm Liam Sterling's fiancé. Another slap answered me. My father sneered. Once you're a billionaire's toy, do you think the Sterling family will still want you? Only Clara will be worthy. Then even as a spirit, I felt the sting burn. They had raised me for 22 years. They had never loved me. When the video ended, panic erupted. She was sent to the Isle of Innocence. Does anyone come back from their hole? Clara lunged toward the phone. They're fake. She faked everything. Before she could touch it, Sterling security slammed her to the floor. My parents stepped forward, but froze under Liam's gaze. His eyes were red. What exactly did Stella go through on that island? He said hoarsely. We'll watch it one piece at a time. The fourth video began. The image showed my first day on the Isle of Innocence. I was on my knees at the edge of the landing pad, gripping the ground as the helicopter blades roared overhead. Mom, please. I cried, my voice breaking. Don't leave me here. I'll change. I'll do anything. Neither of them looked back. Underscore my ex, underscore my parent. Underscore the government. Underscore anybody controlling this system. You watching this video? Underscore me too. You sure? Underscore for all of us. Get out the helicopter lifted into the sky, carrying them away as if they had just discarded unwanted luggage. The screen shifted. I was blindfolded next. Total darkness swallowed me. In the silence, footsteps approached. Not one or two, but many. Their rhythm was unhurried, deliberate, like hunters circling prey. Terror pressed down on my chest until I could barely breathe. I curled into a corner, hugging myself, shaking so hard my teeth chattered. Then the blindfold was ripped away. Blinding white light flooded my vision. As my sight adjusted, I saw them. Cameras, tiny lenses hidden everywhere, embedded in walls, trees, ceilings. Every angle, every breath captured. Gasps erupted in the wedding hall. This looks like surveillance. Who would install something like that? It has to be the wealthy clients. This is sick. Live comments flooded the screen, nearly burying my image beneath outrage and disbelief. Even as a ghost, I felt that old fear crawl up my spine. Then a small red that appeared on my chest. I ran. No matter where I went that followed, unwavering locked onto me. When my legs finally gave out, a hand clamped over my mouth from behind. A sharp chemical smell filled my lungs. The world went black. When I woke again, I was lying flat on a long table. My body had been arranged carefully, deliberately. Slices of raw fish were placed across my skin. My fingers and toes were decorated like fine dishes. Several men stood around me, old, wealthy, laughing softly as they used chopsticks to lift food from my body. Sometimes one of them poked at me with the tip of the chopsticks, lingering where they had no right to touch. I screamed, but no sound came out. My limbs were heavy, unresponsive. This one is quite fresh. A man with a scarred face remarked, licking his chopsticks. Too thin though. But the people who sent her said, she's untouched. Another replied, clean, worth every cent. Tears streamed down my temples. To them, I was not a person. I was an object. A dish, a toy. The humiliation burned worse than pain. The following scenes were too obscene to continue. Liam stopped the video. The hall was deathly quiet. The photos that had later circulated were shown briefly, images they had forced me to take. Proof, they said, insurance against lawsuits. Refusal meant worse torture. What they had seen was only a fraction of my suffering. The live stream exploded. That place is hell. How could her parents send her there? Where is Stella now? Call the police. Investigate the thorns. Save me. I was already dead. I had died on that island. My mother collapsed to the floor, her face twisted in disbelief. That's impossible. She didn't have her phone. She was right. They had confiscated it. But before leaving, a maid had secretly slipped it back to me, pity trembling in her eyes. I had intended to record the route, hoping I could find my way home one day. When they dragged me away, the phone was hidden against my chest. That was how everything was captured. Clara crawled to Liam's feet, sobbing hysterically. My sister is alive. She's living abroad. This is fake. It's AI. Liam, don't believe it. I stared at her, hatred boiling inside me. Liam finally lifted his head. His voice was hollow. She can't be saved. My heart clenched. Did he believe her? A guest stood up. You were together for 5 years. Even if you doubt it, shouldn't you investigate? What if it's real? Liam repeated calmly. She can't be brought back. A chilling thought struck me. Does he know? No, that was impossible. No one ever came for me. My mother snapped, pointing at the speaker. This is our family matter. Mind your place. My son-in-law has already said she's beyond saving. Liam interrupted her. The one's beyond saving, he said quietly. Are you? I froze. The 5th video began. Weeks into my imprisonment, I saw a fishing boat. I screamed until my throat tore, begging the fisherman to take me with him. There was no signal on the island. He was my only chance. He nodded, not fully understanding my words, and pulled me aboard. He brought me to a small village. The first thing I did was call the police. My mother screamed at the screen. Lies. The police never contacted us. Clara sneered. Exactly. If she reported anything, we wouldn't be standing here. No one echoed them this time. All eyes remained fixed on the screen. Liam spoke softly. Then why was no report ever followed up? The video continued. I hesitated, then dialed Liam. I wanted to tell him everything, but when the call connected, Clara's cheerful voice filled the line. Liam, does this dress look good? I want to be perfect when I marry you. I hung up. A broken sob escaped me. Liam, I whispered. Do you know how close I came to not surviving? After a long struggle, I returned to the city. Outside the Thorn Mansion, a familiar black sedan waited. Liam's car. I hid nearby and watched as he stepped out, walked around and opened the door. Clara jumped out, linking her arm with his. I didn't mean to show you those photos, she said sweetly. I just wanted you to see her true nature. I saw the image she showed him. One of the photos they had forced me to take. I wanted to run forward to scream. But Liam wrapped an arm around her waist. I didn't realize she was that kind of woman, he said coldly. Let's go inside. The world froze. So it was true. He had chosen her. Rage erupted in the wedding hall. They're monsters. Clara screamed, hysterical. This is edited. She can't stand seeing me happy. I hovered near Liam, desperate for an answer. Why didn't you believe me? He shoved Clara aside. We're not done. The video continued. I circled to the back of the mansion. Voices drifted through the air. My father's voice. What did Liam say? Clara laughed. He believed it. Good. My father replied. Eva Hendelt Stella. If Liam becomes my son-in-law, the Thorn group survives. Clara will live like royalty. My knees buckled. It had all been planned. Every step they turned. They saw me. Before I could even react, I was slammed to the ground. I've already called the police. I screamed, my voice cracking. You won't get away with this. My father crouched beside me, his expression dark, his voice low and dangerous. You called the police. I haven't even punished you for running away. And you still dare to report us? Do you have any idea how many business deals you've ruined? My mother raised her phone in front of my face. The screen displayed surveillance footage from the island. Angles I hadn't even known existed. Speaking of which, she sneered. Liam has no idea how filthy you really are, does he? You're coming to the police station with me, she continued coldly. And you're going to tell them you made everything up. A false report out of spite. I stared at the screen. My mind blank. Why? I whispered. Her smile sharpened. If you refuse, every video and photo will be sent straight to Liam. I had no strength left to fight. I couldn't let him see me like that. So I agreed. Looking back now, it was almost laughable how naive I was. When the footage ended, the wedding hall erupted. A woman in the crowd was openly crying. Is this how you treated her? So the police investigation disappeared because you threatened her. And you, someone shouted at Liam, the so-called pride of Kingsbridge. You didn't care whether she lived or died. The live stream flooded with messages demanding answers, demanding arrests, demanding to know if I was still alive. Liam's hand hovered above the screen. He smiled faintly, a shattered expression that did not reach his eyes. I will find her, he said softly. But not yet. He swiped to the next file. Clara lunged forward. That's enough. Can't you see what she's trying to do? She wants to ruin our wedding. Enough. Liam interrupted, his voice so cold it silenced the room. Miss Thorne, perhaps you should worry about your own family first. I hovered in the air, stunned. I did not understand him. He was the one who hadn't believed me. The sixth video began. On screen, I was back on the island. This time, I wasn't struggling. I looked calmly into the camera. No one loves me anymore, I said quietly. I don't have the courage to live. Call me a coward if you want, but I'll record everything. Even if I die, I won't let them escape. I sat by the shore, grinding a sharpened piece of bamboo against a rock again and again. Blood soaked my hands. I felt nothing. Someone in the crowd cried out. What is she doing with that? She's not going to. I wouldn't blame her. Stella, stop. Please. If they had lived my life, would they have chosen differently? Liam's face was bloodless. His fingers curled so tightly they nearly crushed the phone. The footage jumped forward. I was thinner now, hollow-eyed yet smiling faintly. Today I buried 18 skeletons. The Isle of Innocence isn't a paradise. It's a mass grave. The camera shifted. Human bones surrounded me. I'm not the only one who died here. I waved at the lens. Hi, I don't know if I'll still be alive when you see this. But even if I'm dead, my body will stay here just like theirs. So remember to come find me. The hall was silent, breath held. Sobs broke out. The video continued. I'll record how I walk toward death and how the Thorne family walks toward destruction. This video may never reach the outside world, but I'll find a way. The audience exploded. One man grabbed my father by the collar. You're not human. The Thornes tried to argue. Then the final video began. Before it even played, my family panicked. My father shouted. What is the meaning of this? Sterling family. If you don't want this marriage, say it outright. That ungrateful girl. When I find her, she'll pay. Liam stared at him. Mr. Thorne, he said quietly. Is it possible you still don't know? Stella is already dead. Shock rippled through the room. I froze. How did he know? Clara shook her head violently. That's impossible. She's overseas. My mother echoed her. If she's dead, who sent the gift? My father grabbed them both. Let's go. They were stopped at the door by Sterling security. Liam lifted my phone. Watch the last video. On screen, I spoke softly. The battery is almost gone. They didn't know I had secretly charged it by pretending to obey. The scene shifted to a ship's cabin. Several men surrounded me. While they were distracted, I moved. The sharpened bamboo plunged into one man's neck, then another, then another. Blood sprayed. I looked into the camera, calm and steady. These videos will one day judge you all. You will never find me. The next image showed me on the shore again, waiting. Not for rescue, for discovery. When I finally saw a boat, fear seized me. What if they didn't see me? I drove the bamboo into my own neck and screamed as I fell. Look at me. I'm here. That was how I died. And I had no regrets because every one of them was my killer. The hall erupted. She's really dead. They murdered her. Police stormed in, handcuffing my parents and Clara as they collapsed. An officer nodded to Liam. Thank you for the tip. We couldn't have found the island without you. I stared at him in disbelief. Then the video resumed. The person who ran to my body was not a fisherman. It was Liam. He collapsed beside me sobbing. Why didn't you wait? Do you know how long I searched for you? So he had been looking. Clara screamed. Why? You thought she was filthy. Liam slapped her hard. Enough. I knew Stella would never betray me. The moment I saw those photos, I knew something was wrong. My soul trembled. He had pretended to believe her, to get close, to find me. He had placed a listening device in Clara's bag. He heard everything the day I returned. By the time he arrived, I was already gone, but it confirmed the island's existence. That recording led the police to it, led them to me. Clara broke down. Then why did you marry me? Liam pointed at the camera. Because only then could I fulfill her final wish to drag you all into the light. You owe her life and you owe me my world, he whispered. I'm taking you home. My parents begged. Blamed Clara. Clara screamed back. They were dragged away together. I hovered beside Liam as he looked up at the sky. Did you see that, Stella? Yes, I cried. I saw everything. The truth spread. The island was destroyed. The guilty were imprisoned. The Thorn name became synonymous with evil. Liam stood before my grave holding flowers I loved. I'm sorry, he whispered. I was too late. I try to hold him in this life. He said softly, you are my only star. As my spirit faded, gratitude filled me. Thank you, Liam. I love you.